guys, welcome back to Life Up Education TV. I'm your host Natsune. Today is another episode of ASK Natsune Show, and before we move on, this is my book, The Game of Self-Domination. So if you haven't checked it yet, go check it on my website, LifeUpEducationTV.com. That being said, let's start. Okay, so I prepared, I would say 5 different tweets that we can go over today. Okay, the first one goes, after you talked shit about me, did your life get better, or are you still a miserable bitch? Okay, so it's an interesting quote, and this is so true. Like, you know, the thing is, like, when someone talks something harmful to you, like, it's not saying about you, it's saying about how their demand, the judge's demand. Like, whoever who wants to hurt you by saying harmful thing, like, they need love, they're crying, like, to say, like, please feel sorry for me, like, you know, do something for me. Like, it doesn't say anything about you, like, fundamentally, because they don't know you, but it has to do more with their demand. And okay, next one we go. The reason many people in our society are miserable, sick, and highly stressed is because of an unhealthy attachment to things that they have no control over. And this is a quote from someone named Esteem. And no, yeah, I mean, this is exactly what it is. I think stressful people focus on what they can't control, and also they focus on what they don't have, instead of focusing on what they can control and what they have, right? Like, because if you focus on the latter, like the letter, where you focus on, like, how amazing is this that I have this and this and that, and then you know, whatever happened, what can I do from here, right? Like, if you focus on those two things, your life just, like, dramatically changes. Like, from there you only go this way. Like, never look back, never regret. Like, from there it's only optimism, like practical optimism. So that's what I usually deploy in my daily life too, and I highly recommend you to do that. Okay, the next one. When I get this depressed, I remind myself that I'm not as miserable as someone else. Well, there's a person named. Imagine hating yourself and others that much. Woof, I'm blessed. Okay, so I picked up this tweet because, you know, I was thinking the other day, like, the thing is, like, I noticed that I don't have the ego, or I don't have this, I guess, at the core, I don't have that, like, selfishness to wish that someone be miserable for me because I'm not happy. Like, the thing is, like, I don't expect you to be happy only when you follow my guidance, you know what I mean? Like, I don't expect you to be happy only when I'm happy, only when I can teach you how to live in my term, and then you copying that, right? Like, I understand that your life is your life and my life is my life, so I don't expect you to, like, be happy in my term. Like, I want you to find your own happiness. And I think when you approach things from this perspective, like, when someone, so apparently this person is saying, like, when I get depressed, I remind myself that I'm not as miserable as this famous person. I think when you have that perspective, you kind of notice, oh, okay, well, I'm glad that I could contribute to this person's happiness, like, one way or another. Like, in this case, it's not the admiration that inspired this person to be happier, but it's the opposite. It's this person is basically choosing me as, like, non-role model that this person doesn't want to become, right? But in the end of the day, indirectly, you're still helping that person, because by giving that person another perspective and example of being, like, this person could come to the conclusion that you're giving that person to be happy, permission to be happy, right? So you're still contributing. And for me, this is why I said, like, I don't expect you to be happy in my term. Like as long as you're happy, and as long as you find your own happiness and truth in the way, like if you figure out how to be like happy, regardless of what I am in that picture, like I should be happy for you because you're happy, right? Like in the end of the day, that's what matters. So I feel miserable right now. Man, life sucks. I want to talk to some people, but they hate me, so it's not worth it. Ooh. Okay, so I think this is another like crying, like, you know, please pay attention to me, please help me, like, right, like life should be this way, like, you know, I'm weak, like please take care of me, like please accept me. But like, I mean, everybody has their own problems. Like your problem doesn't mean anything to anyone except to yourself. So no one's gonna come help. Like the only person who can help you is you. So, you know, don't be a victim, really. Like that's my message. Like everything is your fault. Like if you're not providing value to someone else, like why the hell does anyone else want to help you anyways? Like everybody has their own shit. So, you know, when I looked at this tweet, victimization, like, you know, the only thing I could come up with was like, I don't feel sorry for you. You're feeling sorry for yourself, but I don't. Like, I got my own shit. And then, you know, if you're not willing, like if you are not in this life with the work ethic, with the willingness to like, you know, fail, get up, go, like positivity, like why do I have to like, you know, carry you with me? Like you gotta keep up with me. Okay, the first one goes, if you want me, act like it. What do you think of this? To me, it feels like you're not willing to work, right? Like why do you expect someone to love you first? Like, you know, there's something that sits with me a lot. Someone said, or Gary said before, is like, why do we like parents? Why do we love parents so much? Because they love us first, right? Like it's the unconditional love. And I feel like this person is so weak that this person is a little bit, not even a little bit, like insecure, that this person needs approval from someone. This person needs to be accepted by someone. Like this person needs someone to be working for them, right? So that's kind of like the validation of the worth, the self-perceived worth of this person. But I don't really think of it like that. For me, it's like you wouldn't be wanted, like you're not needed or wouldn't be wanted if what you can provide versus what they want doesn't match. Like why do you expect you deserve something? Why do you think that you without working something, like you without working on something and you without providing the value for someone else, why do you assume that you're wanted? I mean, you're not. So that's what I would say. So instead of like try to tell someone how to act, like, you know, basically giving this person the conditional love, like why don't you work for them and why don't you provide what they want? And if you do that, regardless of, like, they will come to you regardless of how hard you try. Like regardless of you tell them don't come to me, like they will come to you because you're giving them something, right? So I guess my summary is, you don't mean anything. You're not needed if you don't produce value for the other person, and don't think that you're important. You're like, you need to act with humility. Like you need to always care for what the other person wants over what you want, because the world works like that, right? I have this memo. It asks, after all, is sadness bad, right? And I had this thought around happiness versus sadness, and I don't think sadness is bad at all. I mean, in fact, there's even Disney movie about sadness, right? I forgot the name of it, but basically it's like about the psychology between like sadness, happiness, anger, like disgust, like they have that little character. And I would say sadness is not bad, no. And the reason being so many things, but one of the things I had thoughts on the other day was kind of interesting, was like sadness as deep, like depths in your life. Like happiness is happy, right? Like happiness is more instant, happiness is lighter, happiness is just like, more like less serious feeling, like something that gives you the high. But sadness could be something very serious. Sadness can leave you scarred, literally, like really at the deep place. What does that mean? That means that it gives you the ultimate opportunity for you to grow. It gives you the ultimate opportunity to become stronger from that scar. So I would describe sadness as actually not a bad thing. I mean, you can also manage to see it as opportunity. You can also see it as opportunity to grow. So, adversity, once again, adversity is the foundation of success.